Does the thought of crowded subways and honking taxis make you want to hide in the woods? Or do you absolutely love the endless energy of a massive city?
Whether you love the hustle and bustle or prefer the quiet countryside, today's topic is for you. Welcome back to the Daily English Loop, the podcast where learning English is always easy, very natural, and a lot of fun. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Alex. Today our topic is very fast, very loud, and incredibly busy. We're talking all about the daily routine and lifestyle in a major, bustling metropolis. And to match that city energy, I actually traded my usual dark roast coffee for a huge, icy glass of matcha green tea today.
Welcome to the Tea Club, Alex. You'll need that clean, focused burst of energy for today's lesson. We're going to talk about how people travel, the noise, the crowds, and we'll teach you some very specific vocabulary words that you only really use when talking about the city.
It sounds like a lot of fun. But Lisa, before we dive into the concrete jungle, we have a very small favor to ask our wonderful friends who are listening right now.
Yes, please. Everyone, if you enjoy learning English with us every week, please take just 1 second to click the like button on this video or audio track. It's a tiny click for you, but it's a massive help for our channel.
And please hit that subscribe button for the Daily English Loop. We want to be here to help you improve your English every single week.
Also, share this episode with your friends or classmates. Maybe they want to learn how to talk about city life too.
Thank you so much, guys. Okay, Lisa, are you ready to start?
Let's go. So, Alex, I want you to close your eyes and imagine a truly massive city. Think about New York City, London, Tokyo, or Sao Paulo.
Okay, my eyes are closed. I'm imagining it. I see towering buildings made of glass and thousands of yellow taxicabs on the street.
Perfect. Now, how does a normal Tuesday morning start for someone living in a city like that?
Well, for most people, it starts with a very sudden, very loud alarm clock ringing in the dark.
Yes, and the city, people usually have to wake up very early. We don't have a choice because we have to deal with the commute.
Commute. That's a very important vocabulary word for our listeners. Can you explain what a commute is, Lisa?
Absolutely. Your commute is your daily journey to work or school. It's the specific travel time from your front door to your office desk.
Yes, and in a big city, your daily commute can feel like a wild adventure.
An adventure or sometimes a total nightmare. How do you usually commute, Alex? Do you drive your own car?
No, never. Driving a personal car in the center of a major city is too difficult. Finding a parking space is impossible, and the traffic is always terrible.
I completely agree. So you must take public transportation.
Yes, I rely on public transport. My main method of travel is the subway.
The subway. For our listeners, the subway is the system of fast trains that run in dark tunnels under the ground.
Exactly. In London, they call it the tube. In Paris and Tokyo, they call it the metro. But in American English, we usually say subway.
I take the subway too, but I definitely have a love-hate relationship with it.
Really? What do you hate about the subway?
I hate the crowds. Specifically, I hate the crowds in the morning. Around 8 a.m., it's absolute chaos because it's rush hour.
Oh, rush hour. That's a crucial phrase to know.
Yes, rush hour is the specific time of day when almost everyone in the city is traveling to work at the exact same time. There are people literally everywhere. People running on the platforms, people crowding the stairs, and people squeezing inside the train cars.
During rush hour, you can almost never find an empty seat.
Sit down? Alex, I never sit down during rush hour. I'm always standing up.
Me too. You just stand there, holding tightly to the overhead handle, and you're standing very close to complete strangers, sometimes uncomfortably close.
Yes, there's a great English idiom for this. We say we're packed like sardines.
Packed like sardines. That's a very funny and very accurate expression. It means people are squished tightly together, just like the little fish inside a metal tin can. It's not a comfortable feeling.
No, it isn't. But the one good thing about the subway is that it's very fast. It skips all the street traffic.
That's true. It's much faster than taking a city bus. Do you ever take the bus, Lisa?
Sometimes, if the weather is nice and I'm not in a hurry, I actually prefer the bus. I like it because I can look out the large windows and actually see the city.
That's a good point. On the subway, you only ever see the black walls of the tunnel.
Right. On the bus, you can watch people walking their dogs, you can see the new shops opening, and you can look at the architecture. But the bus has one major problem.
I know exactly what the problem is. Traffic jams.
Traffic jams. I hate them so much. When there are simply too many cars on the road, everything stops moving. You just sit there, staring at the red brake lights of the car in front of you.
It's incredibly frustrating. And what happens when people in cars get frustrated?
They start honking. Beep, beep.
Honking. That's the sound a car horn makes. The city is a very, very noisy place, isn't it?
It really is. It's a constant wall of sound. You hear cars honking, you hear loud sirens from ambulances and police cars, and you hear the sound of construction.
There's always construction happening in a big city.
Always. Someone is always using a loud drill to fix the sidewalk, or cranes are building a brand new skyscraper.
Skyscraper. I love that word. A skyscraper is a very modern, incredibly tall building that looks like it's literally touching the sky.
When I stand on the sidewalk and look straight up at a glass skyscraper, it makes me feel very, very small.
Me too, but they look absolutely beautiful at night when all the office windows are glowing with light.
Yes, the city skyline at night is magical. Okay, so we've survived the morning commute, we arrived at the office, we drank our tea and coffee, and we worked hard all morning.
And then it's time for lunch.
Ah, lunch in the big city. The biggest problem is that there are too many choices. It's so hard to decide what to eat. Do you bring a packed lunch from home, Alex?
Sometimes I do, especially if I'm trying to save money.
Very smart. Budgeting is important in an expensive city. But sometimes you just want to buy something fresh and hot.
Exactly. And the best part about city lunches are the food trucks.
I love food trucks. For our listeners, a food truck is basically a tiny restaurant kitchen built inside a large van or truck. They park right on the side of the street.
You walk up to the window and you can buy amazing, authentic food. You can get spicy Korean tacos, gourmet grilled cheese sandwiches, or fresh Mediterranean falafel. It's delicious, and more importantly, it's very fast.
Yes, speed is the most important thing. In the city, everyone is always in a hurry.
That's so true. Have you ever noticed the people in big cities walk incredibly fast?
Yes. If you're a tourist and you walk slowly on the sidewalk to look at a building, the local people will get very annoyed. They'll quickly walk past you and say, "Excuse me, coming through."
It's what we call the hustle and bustle.
Ooh, hustle and bustle. That's a great descriptive phrase. It refers to the busy, energetic, and slightly chaotic activity of a crowded place.
The city has so much hustle and bustle. It has a very specific electrical energy. It makes me feel very awake, but by the end of the day, it also makes me feel exhausted.
Yes, so after a long day of work, you have to face the evening commute home.
The evening commute is usually much quieter than the morning commute. Everyone is tired.
It's true. When you look around the subway car at 6 p.m., nobody is talking. People are just staring blankly at their phones, listening to music with their eyes closed, or reading a paperback book.
I've even seen people fall asleep while standing up and holding the subway pole. It's a real survival skill.
So, we finally make it back to our apartments. But Alex, does the city ever actually go to sleep?
Never. They call New York the city that never sleeps, but that's true for almost every major global city.
There's always something open, and there's always something to do. You can find a restaurant serving hot food at 3 a.m.
You can go to late-night cinema showings, underground jazz clubs, or massive 24-hour grocery stores.
Do you go out a lot in the evenings during the week, Alex?
Honestly, no. From Monday to Thursday, I'm very boring. I just want to stay on my comfortable sofa. But on Friday and Saturday nights, I love to go out.
I understand that. The weekend is the time to explore, and my absolute favorite thing to explore in the city is the cultural diversity.
Yes, the diversity is the best part.
You can walk down one single street and hear people speaking Spanish, Arabic, Mandarin, and French. And because of that diversity, the restaurant scene is incredible.
You can literally travel the entire globe just by eating dinner. You can have authentic Ethiopian food on Friday and authentic Vietnamese pho on Saturday.
It's wonderful. But Alex, let's be honest. Sometimes the city is just too much. Sometimes the noise, the concrete, and the gray buildings feel overwhelming.
Yes, sometimes your brain just needs a break. You need to see nature.
Exactly. We need green space. So, where do you go when you need to escape the concrete jungle, but you can't leave the city?
I go straight to the park. Almost every well-designed big city has a massive central park, like Central Park in New York or Hyde Park in London.
Yes, these parks are like an oasis.
An oasis, a calm, safe, green place in the middle of a loud, stressful desert.
I love going to the park on a Sunday morning. I bring my thermos of hot tea, sit on a wooden bench under a huge oak tree, and just watch the ducks in the pond. For 1 hour, you completely forget about the traffic and the subway.
Finding that balance is so important for your mental health. The city is thrilling, but you have to find moments of quiet.
Balance is definitely the key. Now, Alex, let me ask you a hypothetical question. Do you think you could ever leave the city and live in a very small, quiet country town?
That's a tough question. A town with no subway, no skyscrapers, and no 24-hour food delivery? Maybe when I retire and I'm much older, but right now I'm addicted to the energy of the city.
You're addicted to the hustle and bustle.
I really am. What about you, Lisa? Could you live in a small town?
I feel the exact same way you do. I complain about the crowded rush hour all the time, but I love the ultimate convenience of city life.
The convenience is hard to give up.
Yes, the hospital is 5 minutes away, the grocery store is on the corner, and if I suddenly decide I want to eat a warm chocolate chip cookie at midnight, I can easily find a place that sells one.
Emergency midnight cookies are a very valid reason to live in the city.
Exactly. You know, Alex, there's one more really interesting thing about observing the daily city routine.
What's that?
The fashion, the way people dress.
Oh yes, the sidewalks are like a free daily fashion show.
In the financial districts, you see men and women walking very fast in perfectly tailored, expensive business suits and shiny shoes.
But then, right next to them, you'll see a young art student wearing incredibly strange, brightly colored avant-garde clothes.
And the best part is that nobody stares. In a big city, people are very accepting. You can wear a giant purple hat or bright neon boots, and everyone just ignores you and keeps walking.
I love that anonymity. You can truly be yourself without feeling judged. Okay, Lisa, we've covered a lot of ground today. Let's do a quick vocabulary review for our listeners before we finish.
That's a great idea. We learned some very useful city words today.
First, we talked about the commute, the daily journey from your home to your workplace.
We talked about rush hour, the terrible time in the morning and evening when the roads and trains are completely packed with people.
We discussed taking the subway to avoid the frustrating traffic jams on the streets above.
We looked up at the towering skyscrapers, the massive glass buildings that touch the clouds.
And finally, we described the general feeling of the city as the hustle and bustle, the fast, noisy, energetic movement of millions of people.
Those are fantastic vocabulary words. If any of our listeners travel to a big city, they'll definitely hear and experience all of those things.
They certainly will. And Lisa, do you have one final piece of advice for a tourist visiting a big city for the first time?
Yes. If you get lost in the hustle and bustle, don't panic. Just pull out your smartphone and open a map app.
That's a very modern and practical tip.
Or if your phone battery dies, just be brave and ask a local person. Simply say, "Excuse me, could you point me toward the nearest subway station?" Or, more importantly, "Excuse me, where's the best bakery?"
Priorities. Always find the bakery first. Well, Lisa, just talking about all this city energy makes me want to put on my shoes and go outside.
Me too. I think I want to walk to the park and find a food truck selling spicy tacos.
That sounds like the perfect plan. But sadly, our time for today's episode has run out.
Oh no! The time always goes by so incredibly fast when we're chatting.
It really does. But this was a thoroughly enjoyable conversation. I loved talking about the concrete jungle with you.
I enjoyed it too, Alex. And we truly hope that all of our amazing listeners enjoyed it as well.
We do. And now we want to hear from you, our audience.
Yes, we have a fun homework question for you today. Please scroll down to the comments section below this video or audio track.
We want to know, do you currently live in a massive, noisy city, or do you live in a quiet, peaceful, small town?
And tell us what your absolute favorite part about your hometown is. Do you love the exciting hustle and bustle, or do you prefer the calm and the quiet?
Please write your answers in English in the comments. We read every single one, and it's a fantastic way for you to practice your writing skills.
We can't wait to read your stories from all over the world.
And before you log off, please remember to hit that subscribe button for the Daily English Loop.
Give this episode a big like if you learned a new vocabulary word today, and share it with a friend who complains about their morning commute.
Thank you all so incredibly much for spending your time with us today. You're all doing a fantastic job learning English.
Yes, you are. Keep practicing, stay positive, and have a wonderful week in your city or your town.
Take care, everyone. We'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.
Bye, friends. See you soon.